So I want to take just a quick moment to introduce myself. My name is Kristin. I'm the National Educator here at Sage. I have had the good luck and the good fortune for the last 5 years to work really closely with all of our products and all of our ingredients. And what that means is that a big part of my role is getting to test different products to figure out how they smell, how they work, where to apply them on the body so that we can share that information with all of you. I want to mention as well that within the last couple of weeks, you may have had the opportunity to see our incredible in-house aromatherapist, her name is Lynette, when she hosted a sleep session as well. So what Lynette hosted during her session was answering some of your most burning questions about sleep, including sleep habits and rituals. And what we're going to do today is we're going to address the products themselves. So a little bit of a compare and contrast about the different products to help you decide which one might be right for you or when you might choose a certain product over another. So we're going to look at 2 different types of products today. We're going to start with our roll-ons. So our roll-on remedies, we have 3 that we address as being specifically for sleep. And then we're going to take a look at a brand new diffuser blend collection and help explain some of those to you as well. So let's get started. The first one we're going to talk about today, this one is called Tranquility. So Tranquility is my personal favorite. This is the newest remedy to have joined the collection. So I'm just going to give it a little bit of a sniff. So Tranquility is a really light blend. It's a little bit of florals. So think your lavender, your ylang ylang. Lavender is the most well-known essential oil for sedation, supporting sleep. Ylang ylang is a really nice balancer. But one of the key ingredients I want to talk about in this formula is marjoram. So marjoram comes to us from the spice family. We know it to be a little bit warming, but another property that marjoram has in aromatherapy is to act as being anti-inflammatory. So how that supports sleep, thinking specifically about products that we would use for sleep, is that this can help reduce any sort of congestion or shallow breathing. And by allowing us to breathe deeper, we're going to sleep better. So this product, like I said, is gentle. The 3 we're going to look at today, I like to sort of describe them lovingly as like a small, medium, large. So this would be our small. This is, like I said, the gentlest formula of the 3, the lightest, that floral aroma. And I want to talk about where to apply the different roll-ons for sleep. And this would really be applicable to all 3 of the different roll-ons. So you can consider whichever formula is right for you, you can apply it in the same way. So some of our favorite places to recommend are pulse points, so things like your temples, your wrists. I personally love just right behind the ears here. The skin is thin here. It's really it receives the oils really well and helps to support the system. Some other places people love are along the jawline, as well as the throat and the chest. Something you hear me talk about a lot with our roll-on products, I like to take a little bit on my finger and rub under my nose. And the reason for that, you may recall from one of our earlier sessions, is that any product we breathe in is going to act really quickly, and anything we apply topically on the body is going to last a little bit longer. So I like to just get myself having that experience right away by breathing the product in and then layering my wellness onto the body. Another really popular place for our sleep remedies is the bottom of the feet. So the reason I really like this is that it's the furthest space from the nose. So think if you're trying to keep yourself away from any aroma that you think is really strong, or you're just not feeling having something close to the nasal area. If you apply product on the bottom of your feet, you're still going to have that effect as it enters through the layers of skin and into the bloodstream, but you won't have as much of the smell. So that's some food for thought to consider as we talk about all 3 of the roll-ons. So that, like I said, was our first one, Tranquility. Moving along, the second product, so this would be our medium in our small, medium, large. For our friends in Canada, you know this product as Snore No More. And then for our friends in America, this product is called Peaceful Slumber. So the key ingredient here is the one that we actually just addressed with Tranquility, so the marjoram. And I think if you consider correlative learning, you can think about inflammation or congestion in the sinuses or the respiratory system and how that can affect snoring. So we always sort of joke with this product to say this one might be better designed for your partner or your children or your roommate, maybe than the user itself. And so going back to that idea of marjoram as an anti-inflammatory, you want to consider that any type of blockage to your breathing passageways can contribute to snoring. So if you can use essential oils that are known to open those passages, you can breathe a bit deeper and therefore find that reduction in congestion and snoring. So what's really different about this product in comparison to, like I said, that lighter floral aroma from Tranquility, this one you have a couple of different essential oils that give it a more almost woodsy and sort of earthy aroma. So one of them is cajeput. Cajeput is an essential oil that's in the same family as tea tree. So it has that really clearing and camphorous aroma. Camphorous meaning gives you that open, that deep breathing. And it also has petitgrain. So petitgrain comes to us from the twigs and the leaves of the bitter orange tree. And I think bitter is a nice way to describe the aroma. It has like a bit of a woodsy, almost sort of smoky and bitter aroma. So this one is more herbaceous, more earthy, and designed to just give you that like grounding and stability, but specifically supporting the respiratory tract. So along with all of the other spaces that we mentioned, you can use the product. This is one I like to recommend applying over the sinuses. So if you were with me for a session a few weeks back, we talked about your sinuses being here above your eyebrow and then under the cheekbone. So not cutting through here on the orbital, but making sure you're going through here. And you can make almost like this, like a figure 8 motion. So just supporting, again, through the sinus cavities. And some people really love specifically along the nasal cavity here. And again, my favorite recommendation. This is another one I really strongly suggest goes onto the throat and the chest. And then again, the other areas, pulse points of the feet, if that feels comfortable for you. So that's the second in the collection. Again, this would be your medium. And then the third one that we're going to talk about today, if you watched Lynette's session a few weeks ago, you'll remember she referred to this one as the hammer. So Sleep Well is the large of our small, medium, and large. So this is the big gun. This is a product that I like to be really clear that we are educating our community properly, really asking questions and diving into what you're looking to accomplish with a sleep product, because I think the name itself, Sleep Well, obviously lends to, the idea that everyone wants to sleep well, but unless you really dig deep and find out what is affecting someone's sleep, it may not make sense to make this recommendation. So this one, I think we're going to talk about the most. So a couple of things to mention. The formula itself, this has the largest amount of ingredients. So if you were to read the back of each bottle, I think we're somewhere in about the 9 or 10 range here. So you have lavender and orange, two well-known adaptogens. That means your body can use them as either restful and sedating or uplifting and mood boosting. And then you also have the Roman chamomile that we mentioned earlier. Roman chamomile in aromatherapy is known as a nervine. So what that means quite literally is it supports your nervous system. So some people experience frayed nerves in the sense of a busy mind or racing thoughts, and this can be deeply sedative. But the true key within this product is an essential oil called valerian. So valerian is also lovingly referred to in aromatherapy as nature's Valium. So it's your absolutely most powerful sedative for encouraging really deep rest and relaxation. So I want to share a couple of fun facts about the plant itself. So if you see a valerian plant within a garden or within a container, the plant itself and the flowers it produces, it is odorless. So it's just like a scentless plant above ground. But underground, deep within the roots, which is where the essential oil is distilled from, it's a very, very pungent odor, a really earthy and smoky odor. So I'm not going to mince words. Some of the ways that valerian can be described: dirty gym socks, sweaty gym clothes, anything that sort of evokes something that's almost like a little bit dirty. But that's where we come in at Sage, is expert formulators and blenders that can use different essential oils to offset what might not be a super pleasant smell, but has a really powerful effect. So some of the other essential oils we've added here are neroli, which is another really incredible essential oil to support the nervous system, and then jasmine. So a fun fact I want to share with you about jasmine as well. So if you tuned in last week, we talked about rose, and rose being referred to as the queen. So jasmine is often referred to as the queen of the night. And there's a fun reason for that. So a number of different species within the jasmine family, a number of the different plants only bloom at night. So they have really fragrant flowers, these beautiful white little clusters, but they only open and bloom at night, and then they close back up again in the morning. So that's why she's referred to as the queen of the night. A couple other things to mention. I want to do a little comparison. So I hope you can see this, but so this is Tranquility, that's Sleep Well. And you see that Tranquility is a really clear formula, like a little bit maybe of an amber color. But then you see with the Sleep Well bottle, it has a very deep color, like a bluish green. And that actually comes from another one of the essential oils that's called German chamomile. Another common name is blue chamomile. So it has a chemical component called azulene. And azulene, when distilled into essential oil and when aerated, actually appears as a blue-green color. So the product itself, again, sometimes someone might look and say, is that what's supposed to look? And the truth is yes. And that's where it derives the color from. A couple of things that are important in that regard is that it can add some staining, especially to white clothing or white bedding. So what we recommend is just to either massage the product in really well, or you can slip on a pair of socks. This is a product because of the strong aroma that some people do prefer to apply on the feet. But again, working with your body chemistry and the other essential oils within the blend, I don't want to scare you off to say, that it's a very off-putting aroma. It's just strong, and valerian is known specifically in that regard. So again, it might be, maybe someone would experience it and say like, oh, that smells really strong. Is it supposed to smell like that? And the answer is yes. Speaking of the product being so strong, these other guys, so thinking again about our Tranquility and about our Snore No More or Peaceful Slumber, they've been blended with carrier oil, so a certain percentage of pure essential oil to carrier. And this one, the Sleep Well, we intended to make very strong. So this product has been blended as 100% pure oil. And maybe some of you know where I'm going with that. That means that it's actually safe to use in your ultrasonic diffuser. So that really opens up the options in terms of how you can use it. So you can apply to all the places that we mentioned, or you can take off your bottom cap on the bottom of your double-ended roller. You would flip open your cap and you can then just tap into your diffuser. So if you don't necessarily love the way the product works with your body chemistry, it's a great option to have it there in the air where all of the different oils are blended together, and then you get a little bit different of an aromatic experience. And when I mentioned earlier, just sort of thinking of it like the hammer or the big guns, my experience is that this is a product for more chronic sleep issues. So that's why we want to speak to our community and ask them questions about how their sleep routine is impacted to see whether this is maybe just sort of a once in a while thing versus a chronic issue. So a lot of our community members will share that Sleep Well has been effective for them specifically to address chronic sleep issues. So think of things like chronic fatigue, chronic insomnia, chronic restlessness, a person who's afflicted with waking up many times through the night or unable to fall back to sleep. Because of the powerful combination of essential oils here, this can really support that longevity of rest in the body. So it's important to sort of consider in that way. And I think, for example, that's why I love the Tranquility. So knock on wood, I'm not particularly afflicted by any sleep conditions. And don't worry, I make up for it in many other ways, so don't be too jealous. But I do have a really strict and regimented sleep schedule and routine. And I do find that Tranquility is strong enough for me. Just needing a little bit of a gentler formula just to more so specifically address a racing mind is all I need. But if you do find that you need something a little bit more powerful, that's where we tend to represent Sleep Well as the best option for people to consider. So I hope that gives you just a little bit of information about the three blends in terms of how they will smell, where to apply them on the body, and then specifically how you can expect them to work. And of course, we're always here for questions. As always, I'm going to be answering, oops, sorry, a little domino going on down here. I'm going to be answering all of your questions myself in the chat after this. So please make sure to add any questions, comments, or feedback, and I'll be happy to support with the remedies. And so the next item we're going to talk about today is the diffuser blends, and I'm really excited to introduce this. So this is a brand new little kit just launched last month. It's called Sweet Dreams Restful Diffuser Blend Collection. And this has been a big ask for our, from our community for a really long time, to have a curated set of blends that were all to support sleep. So it just came out last month. Look at this. Remove your lid, and then you have this wonderful little holder. So it has all 4 of the names of the blends listed here. And then you can just actually place this on your bedside table and to act, like I said, as a holder that lets you know which blends are included. So we're going to walk through all of them today, and again, to help you decide which one might best support you or to help introduce you to some new favorites. So the first one in the collection is our original formula for sleep. So this is Tranquility. The remedy itself just joined the collection last fall, but the diffuser blend has been with us for a very, very long time. So this is the original, like I said, formula for sleep, and the original formula that replicates what you find in the remedy. So you have that really opening and clearing marjoram, a nice balancing essential oil within your ylang ylang, and then some lavender and some Roman chamomile. So this one I've had a little joke for a good few years. We lovingly refer to this as tranquilizer. Gives you a little bit of a deep sleep. I have found myself to be in a deep sleep on many occasions with this friend. So again, if you're more inclined towards that slightly sweet, slightly floral herbaceous aroma, Tranquility might be the one for you. And moving along to the next guy, this is Peaceful Slumber. So this is the same formula as the roll-on. So again, Snore No More in Canada, Peaceful Slumber in the US, but the name for the diffuser blend is Peaceful Slumber in both countries. And this one, again, is the blend that's going to give you a bit more of an earthy, woodsy, sort of smoky and herbaceous experience. So you have your cajeput, your petitgrain, which is where you get that tinge of woods, and then also the marjoram. So in the diffuser blend form, I find that this one really works to encourage opening the chest, opening like the nasal cavities for breathing. I would have said originally this wouldn't have been one I would have thought that I would pick. But I want to just take a quick moment to sort of chat about that. So in aromatherapy, you often hear people say the nose knows. And what they mean by that is that you can sense something that your body enjoys or that you think is going to be good for you. And then obviously, conversely, it would be something that you don't enjoy. So I want to just paint a little picture here, correlative. So I'll share an example from my personal experience. So I have fairly severe food intolerance and insensitivity to bell peppers, so red or green peppers. And when I'm in the vicinity of these peppers, so say within a kitchen or a restaurant, I have a strong intuitive sense that that's a no for me. My body can smell them, it can pick them up, and I have that ability to stay aware and to stay, away from something that I know doesn't sit well with my system. But one of the things that I feel a little differently about in aromatherapy is that you have to have a bit of an open mind about the way something may smell out of the bottle. So what happens within, say, a diffuser blend or a remedy is that the dominant note always rises to the top. So say, for example, ginger is a great example, valerian within the sleep well, and I think in the same sense, Peaceful Slumber, you really get a lot of the petitgrain. So if you're only smelling a product in the bottle, you may think that that isn't what's going to be awesome for you, but then a lot of times what happens is you smell it in the air when it's blending more evenly with all of the different notes within the formula, and you decide that that's a totally different experience than you thought you were going to have. So just keeping an open mind and trying products is awesome. That's why these kits, like these mini kits like this, are such a great idea to give yourself an introduction to a few different products and decide which one might be best for you. The third collection, the third oil rather in the collection is Good Night. And this is a really, really big fan favorite. So we've heard great feedback from our community. A lot of our team members are really into Good Night. And there's a fun fact about this one. This is the first diffuser blend for sleep that was formulated at Sage without lavender. So lavender is an oil that you heard me describe it earlier as adaptogenic. That means people's bodies experience it in different ways. And so for some people, lavender in a sleep blend doesn't actually help them feel relaxed. It keeps them a little bit more alert or, sort of thinking through their day. So with this one, what we did is we took a lot of grounding notes. So frankincense, which is my personal favorite essential oil, sandalwood, as well as vetiver. Vetiver is another smoky essential oil. It's a grass distilled into a really deep base note. And I want to take a minute here as well, just to give you a bit of a descriptor when you hear us talk about notes. So for example, top, middle, and base notes. So essential oils are given a designation based on the ability at which they evaporate under normal circumstances. So a top note, for example, the easiest way to describe them are citrus notes. So think of oils like lemon, lime, or orange. They're really bright, they're really crisp, but they tend to dissipate easily and they sort of evaporate off quickly. And then the other side of the spectrum is your base notes. So these are oils like valerian, like patchouli, like vetiver, and they're oils that just sort of have that extra oomph. They have that punch, that richness, that earthiness that helps them sort of hold on longer in the air or on the body. And so when you create a formula with a nice little blend of top, middle, and base notes, you're creating an aromatic experience to last for a different amount of time. That will also help determine the amount of essential oils you want to use in your diffuser. So you can always start with a smaller amount, and certain blends you'll find that, oh, that one I know I can go up to 8 or 10 drops, and this one I prefer, 4 to 6. And that's again a matter of personal preference, but sometimes knowing the formula itself can help you to learn or understand that. So Good Night has a lot of base notes in here, and I find that you only need a few drops to really help relax the system. And then last, certainly not least, within this 4-pack is our diffuser blend called Dream State. So Dream State I've been really into lately. I've been finding a lot of good sleeps. I tend to be a creature of habit, so sometimes I want to diffuse Tranquility every night, but I really wanted to explore and learn about how my body chemistry worked with the different oils, which is how I found that I love Peaceful Slumber. And so Dream State, this one is the only diffuser blend in our collection that has valerian. So that same really powerful essential oil that we mentioned is in the Sleep Well Roll-On is available within this formula here. You also have the usual suspects, so your lavender, your orange, a little bit of geranium and ylang-ylang, and that's where you get your hormone balancing. So this is another blend that has, again, some of those earthier base notes. You don't need a lot to get a really nice effect, but I do find that those lighter floral and citrus notes also just blend perfectly to give you like that sort of harmony and balance. So that is this collection here, like I said, the Sweet Dreams. And the reason, again, that we love the little sets is that you can really find what works best for you. You can find some new favorites. So Dream State, Good Night, and Peaceful Slumber all joined our collection only last fall. So Tranquility, the original, been around for quite some time, and these blends are quite new to our community. So if you hadn't had a chance to check them out, I hope just hearing those descriptors gives you a little bit of an example to consider which ones sound like they might be right for you. So that's going to take us through our products for today, but I want to share just a few of our upcoming events to give you some things to look forward to. So this Friday, May 15th, we have a really, really exciting session. So I want to just chat about this one for a moment. So Trevor, who is our Education and Communications Manager, is also a trained herbalist and has an incredible and wonderful garden at his home. And he is going to share with us some really special plants, some different recipes. I don't want to give too much of it away. But again, that's this Friday, May the 15th. So I really encourage you to tune into that session if you just want to learn about some incredible ways that you can support your wellness with plants you can grow super easily at home. And then next week, so we'll move our regular Monday session over to Wednesday because of the long weekend holiday in Canada. And I'm going to be deep diving into diffusers and some other diffuser blend collections that we launched recently. So we hear a lot of questions from our community about diffusers themselves, like why would we use one? How do they work? What do they do? What don't they do? So I'm going to have a diffuser with me, and we're going to give a really deep tutorial about how to use them. And like I said, introduce you to a couple of the other kits that we've launched as well. So thank you again for taking some time today. I do apologize for the delay there, but maybe they say good things come to those who wait. So thanks for staying tuned in. I hope everyone is staying safe, staying well, make smart decisions when you're out in the community, support each other. Have a really great rest of your week, and we will see you again next week. Take care, everyone.